Hmm. Okay, so we are being live streamed now, and hello everybody that's going to be coming in. We'll give people a few minutes to get in here as we do this. I'm so we're just going to stare blankly at the screen for a minute because I'm gonna share this on my Facebook page. So I got to get that set up. You guys are watching me, watching you.
I'm glad it's you. I'm not that technically inclined.
Yeah, I can create a post too. Come join us live, you guys. Come join us live. So we are going to talk about the energy before we start talking about the questions. And Judy and I were both talking about our creative chaos around the houses. And it's just one of those things where we are in this I'm sorry, one of those little pop-up things is trying to tell me something is going on here. So we're in one of those times where astrologically it's really pulling up a lot of stuff. There's a lot of Pisces energy going on. I know Pluto was going to go into Aquarius, and I think we're in that right now. Hello, Sarah. She's the first one to post in our chat. But so we've got a lot of push to have things come to the surface and have things feel out of sorts. Things are kind of, I don't even know how to explain it. It's like
I would say it's like sitting on top of a volcano and there's all this lava spewing out.
Exactly. So because I know there's a lot of Pisces energy, I just was listening to a Molly McCord thing. I'd like to listen to her, and she was talking about all the planets moving and all this Pisces energy, and I was doing my tasks while listening, so I didn't catch everything real well. Hi, Lucy. But also just knowing that that's part of it. Well, I have a Pisces moon, and my youngest son has a Pisces moon, and my middle son is a Pisces. So I imagine I'm sitting there listening to, and this energy on Pisces and that, and a lot of Pisces coming up. I'm thinking, what does that mean for my household? Do I need to just like lock myself in the room? So hello, Julie. Lots of things going on with the energy though. So how have you been handling that over at your house?
Well, I've been very strongly aware of that, and I tend to remove myself and just do things that are more harmonious, like being in the garden or maybe going for a bit of a walk or whatever. It's not easy to remain in that space sometimes. Particularly because it's not only me, it's everybody seems to be experiencing this. So they're quite likely to be reactive. So to remove yourself from being in the sphere of somebody that's reactive and understanding that about yourself, I think you can kind of, just move along a little bit easier. It's just, the thing is just being aware that this is what's happening.
Mm-hmm.
So
I think awareness is huge. Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah. And that's been the biggest help over here as well, is that awareness, separating myself from it and sitting with it and asking myself, what is the outcome I desire here? And so I've had two cool things happening. And I know you listened to the one video, the pizza delivery thing, the whole
yes
for you guys that didn't listen to I had this whole thing happen where this person popped in my head, then they popped up on Facebook out of like this random thing, and then the kids and I order pizza, and that's the person that delivered my pizza, and I hadn't seen him in years. It's just it is so weird. So like these really random things will happen. And then the fortune cookie, I forgot the fortune cookie that says friends from the past will be your mirror or something like that. And it's like, oh my gosh, that's so weird. I could say that there are so many things that are happening on the other end of things too. So like all this is happening, and then this thing over here saying, okay, now what are you going to do with that? And one of the things that happened was I went to bed one night, and in my head I heard, you're here to learn how to manipulate the energy by creating the outcome of desire.
Oh,
And I'm like, okay, go to bed, wake up the next morning, looked at something on YouTube, and you know how it'll show you videos under the video you pull up on your phone, right? And so the next thing down was Dolores Cannon and a quote that says, you're in Earth School and you're here to learn how to manipulate the energy. And it's like, what? This is absolutely went to bed to that, you know? And I feel like that's so true too. You know, it's like, here we are, we're presented with, you know, if we're going to follow what we say, you know, it's like we're presented with this illusion that there's chaos going on right now. But it's stuff that's happening for us, even some of that really, really densey, crazy stuff. And how are we going to work with that? And I know for myself over the last week, the stuff that's been presented to me, I can literally sit here and say, I have been having the weirdest experience with how I'm reacting to it. Like, oh, okay. When normally it would be, oh my God, my world's upside down. This is freaking me out. Everything's destroyed, blah, blah, blah. And I'm like, oh, well, that's not the outcome I want. So what do I do about that? And then I sat with that and changed it in my mind to the outcome I wanted. And all of a sudden the energy in the house shifts a little bit and this way and that way and things, and it feels better. And so I'm just here to say, maybe some of the stuff that's being presented to us is so that we can work with that energy and create more of something of desire. And what part do we play in it? What is it offering us? What are we looking at? Because I did a lot of reflection in this, and it's just been, I can't say it's all been bad news, because it's like, yeah, things that I wished it happened didn't happen, happened, and there was consequences for that. But what if I decide to look at it this way or that way, or just detach myself from it and like watch it from the outside and see if I can get a different perspective of it, and change old programs of what this should mean and see what it means now. And so it's been really kind of a growing and learning experience. At this time, we have more people. You guys come on in the chat room and say hello for a minute here. I'll be watching, but we got Jupiter, we've got I'm going to say your name wrong, Amelie, Lucy, Sarah, Julie, you guys are all in the chat room. We do have your questions. We have all your questions. And I'm going to have you, Judy, I'm going to have you talk to people about how, unless you wanted to add to what I just said, let's tell people how we go about the questions.
Oh, well, going about the questions, I put them all together, I print them out, and then I use a pendulum over them to select the order in which they are asked. So it's a very interesting process doing that, but it works.
It works.
It seems to work. Yeah.
I love it. I love it.
Yeah. And, you know, you sort of, as I'm reading through the questions, some fall into one category or another category or whatever. But yeah, it's very interesting to see it, how it all plays out in the end. And always, as we know, with every time that we've done this, the information that comes out for any question, sometimes that goes over other questions that might be further down on the list, but it actually answers them, even if we don't get to them.
Yeah, so true. We've seen that happen over and over. If you're new to the page and you're watching live and you're trying to figure out what we're talking about, We don't take the questions live because it's too hard to follow the chat room. Judy doesn't have a second screen to play the questions on while she's on here with me. So we, over the last couple of videos, we've asked you guys to post your questions, and then Judy brought those questions in and put them in order as the pendulum told her to. So very fun to have you guys all here. And we're going to get started with Daniel pretty soon. But before we do, Judy caught me with a big error in announcing the Daniel surprise. I said the wrong date in my last video. So because that date was being played with, it was in my head. But it's going to be the Arcturian Daniel surprise, which is a 1-hour journey. Is going to be March 11th. That's Saturday for me, Sunday for Australia, right? March 11th at 11, because we wanted to play with the 11ths. So come join us. The link for that is going to be down below, but if you're wanting to sign up now, you can find the link on Facebook, on my website, traciemahan.com, or you can go to one of the other videos. I believe it's on there as well. But 1-hour journey with Daniel, and boy, can we use that support right now. That's going to be March 11th at 11. And hello, Wendy and Lisa. You guys are all getting here, and Julie.
I'll just add, so that it is in Australia, it's March 12 at 6 a.m. for Eastern Daylight Time.
6 a.m.
5 a.m.
ready for this.
5 a.m. in Queensland, and the other states are fall behind that. So.
Kind of get it figured out. I know it's bright and early. Mm-hmm. And you're gonna present something for us at the beginning of that. Is that right?
I guess it is, Tracy.
So sometimes Judy doesn't know what she's doing until I announce it, and then she realizes she's wrapped in now because she's committed because I announced it. Mm-hmm. Anyways, I invite Judy to again bring us into that beautiful state, as she does so well at the beginning of these. But they are a 1-hour journey with Daniel. It is donation based, so please go check it out. If you had trouble putting in a donation, and I would only want to assume that that's what happened because the person I was picking up tried signing up 3 different times. It is the little, gosh, I don't even know how to present that. It's a little box. I have it on my Facebook, but it's a little box that you just write in your donation amount in. And I'm going to see if I can find a picture of it here. And then I'm going to share it, because I know that sometimes it gets confusing. And I understand that. And I love all of you guys. You guys are always so generous with me. So right here, when you go to sign up, it'll pull up and there's a little box right there. And that's where you'll put your donation in. So it's hopefully pretty easy to navigate through. If not, there's some links here on my YouTube page also. If you missed that and you would like to contribute, please know that there's links down below in the YouTube write-up where you can donate as well, if that's what you would like to do. And if you just want to come check it out, come check it out. Because
always an amazing journey.
Yeah, we have a good time. Okay, so now that we got all of that out of the way, we're gonna go get Daniel. We're gonna ask some questions, and we're gonna see how many of these we can get through. Did you count them this time? Do you know how many?
24. When 24. I can pull up the list.
Okay. All right. All right, we got more people here now. So we got Danielle, we got Tony. Lisa saying yes, 5 a.m. for me. Lisa, we love to see you. You don't need to sleep. Marsha, Lucy. One of the reasons I wanted to try a little bit earlier is because when we do the later ones, a lot of the people in Europe aren't able to join because it's the middle of their night. So mixing up the times a little bit. Judy and I are also talking about doing another one on, it's the 21st, right? Like in the, if we were
I'm pretty sure it's the 21st. Yes.
We're afraid to announce dates at this point because we're both a little loopy, but
yes, it's your 21st, our 22nd.
yes. So we're going to shoot for doing another one at that time that would be more accommodating for others. So maybe hitting a couple of times. How do you get around the world? Everybody's sleeping at some point when somebody else is awake. So it's trying to do our best with that.
And it's also that time of year too, where the time zones that observe daylight saving, they're all starting to change again.
Yeah. Here's another thing to think about. If you go, oh gosh, it's going to be the middle of the night and I don't, I'm going to be sleeping, or it's 5 a.m. I'm still hitting snooze on the alarm at that point. Don't worry. If you sign up for the live, you get the video version, like what you're seeing us do right now. You're getting a video version with everybody, like as if it were live and you were getting to participate that way. You would kind of get that same experience, where if you're buying it later, signing up for it later, you're only going to get the audio. But when you sign up for the live, you get a full video version and you get the edited audio version. So if you just want to play the journey again, you have a nice little clipped piece to where you can just play the journey. Or if you want to really hear what everybody's saying afterwards and what they're sharing, then you have that as well. So even if you can't make it live, but you sign up for the live, you get the full cut. All right, I'm done talking about it. I gave everybody a chance to get in here. We've got a small handful of people live. Let's start getting everybody over here, you guys. Bring all your friends. Let's get the energy going. Okay, so I'm going to go get Daniel and Judy. We'll see you on the other side.
We will indeed. Okay.
We think it is a wonderful thing when you ladies get in here and you start talking about all the things, all the chaos, all the disruption going on in your worlds. And we love how you just put a saddle on that and rode it until you broke it, right? That's how we see it. But you girls are doing a great job, and we thank you for facilitating this with us today. And with that, we want to say welcome to everyone who is here. Welcome to all the beautiful energies that are watching live, all the energies that will be coming later. We see you all. We thank you all. And we appreciate you all so much. For some reason, we keep seeing a Raggedy Ann doll. This is not something that is of a current time. So this is something somebody owned back in the day, back when they were a child maybe, and they had a Raggedy Ann doll. And your message to you is that it's going to be okay. It's going to be okay. It is a swirly time, isn't it? But don't worry, when the dust settles, you're going to be okay. You're going to be, in fact, better off than you were before. So trust the outcome is going to be going in your favor. And we want to say that to everyone listening that has something that applies to. But whoever the Raggedy Ann doll, whoever recognized that right off the bat, your message that it's going to be okay. In fact, it will even be better than it was before. You just got to ride it out, right? You just got to get to that other end. And don't worry. Just keep yourself as far from worry as you can during this time, as everything will work out for you, okay? All right. Now that we got that out of the way, what would you like to ask us, Judy?
Well, first of all, hello, Daniel, and it's always such a joy to be doing this.
Yes, we heard you were going to sing for us later.
No, you didn't hear that.
And we can't let Tracy have all the fun to pick on you. We must jump in there with you as well. So
we'll lose the audience if that were to happen.
We don't think we'd lose the audience, but it might go viral. So that could be fun.
Well, we'll just move right along into the questions there.
Let's do that. Let's we'll have patience and wait for you to sing. It is okay. You don't have to do it right now. Yes. All right. Go ahead.
We'll just let that one slide, I think, and move right into Marsha, whose question is at the top of the list. And she says, when things feel like they're lower vibe and everything feels dense, what's the best way to open up to feelings of love again? She also states that she knows that many people around her are feeling very numb lately, and she'd like some guidance about that.
Well, I think you ladies already covered so much of that. The how to find your way back to the happy and to the joy and to not feeling numb by everything that is going on. Well, for one, sometimes the numbness is the place to be so that you can be the observer, so that you can detach from that attachment of the outcome, right? And so when we get you into that space of neutralizing good, bad, right, wrong, neutralizing the judgments surrounding whatever is taking place, then once you have done that, once you have neutralized and moved past why is this presenting it to you in the first place, and we say you can always find your joy in the chaos, right? And that is one of the things that has been a subject as of late, is sometimes the chaos shows up for you so that you can find your way, navigate your way through. I can be here in the middle of this storm and I can stay in the eye of it. And I can see that it is going on around me, but do I get to choose how much it actually affects me? And so you are in a learning process as the storm goes on, as things feel like nothing's lining up. Everyone's saying, are we in Mercury retrograde multiplied at this time right now? Because there is so many things that are being shown to you. And it has to be shown to you. You understand, you come in as these light workers, you came into this planet, and you can't identify with the light worker when it feels good and then not when it feels a little burdensome, right? You are the light worker, you are the way shower, you are the one who volunteered or was nominated, as some of you were, to come in at this time to help shift this planet out of the densities and into the light. You were here because you wanted to have this purpose, you wanted to do this work. And so when it becomes work, we need you to stick with it. We need you to stay in those vibrations, knowing you are the warrior of light. And warrior, we don't want to say that word as if it is going to battle or doing anything of harm. You are a beautiful beacon of this light, this energy, this vibration that comes through to help lighten this earth of the densities. And the only way to rid the earth of the densities is to purge them out, just like everything is held as a vibration. You look at yourself, and how many times have you said, oh, I've got to go do a little inner child journey, or this is stuck in my subconscious, something that is stuck within your vibrational fields that you have gone in to clear out, that you have done work on to purge it, to move it, to love it and hold gratitude for it so you can move past it, move on and into something better. Same thing with Mother Earth. You have your beautiful planet, which is a living thing, and it is holding the wounds within its core. And as you come in as a light worker, as you come in and you see the upheavals of the world, you see the things that are being purged, you see things that are going on in this world, you do not have to become a fighter. Become love, become the light, become the vehicle of which the darkness can be transmuted or dissolved into the light and moved into a better and higher frequency. So when you look at all of the things that are going on, we encourage you to take that role. We encourage you to take the role as this light, as this beacon of understanding. The ones around you, the loved ones around you, they want to be heard. They want to know that what they are experiencing means something. It's not being dismissed. Hear them, value them, love them, help them, encourage them, help them see the bigger picture, help them see how they can move this energy in a different way, help them see how they can build on this energy that is happening and use it as stepping stones into something better. That is for everybody. We hope that that helped, but yes, putting thoughts into those things that you want to have happen, those outcomes that you want to have happen, versus putting more energy into the density that's already happening. And so shift your energy to the thought of desire. That's the quick answer.
Excellent. Thank you.
Thank you.
Julie asks, are we all source energy? Is that what consciousness is?
So convoluted, that question, isn't it? The easy answer to that one is yes. the difficult answer to that one is source energy incarnated in billions and billions, if not trillions and quadzillions, and however many you can count to, because this consciousness that you speak of, it doesn't only exist here in this realm, in this reality, in this earth. It exists in multiple dimensions. It exists in multiple planetary systems. It exists in galaxy after galaxy after galaxy. So as you can imagine infinity, then you can imagine how many experiences are existing at the same time. So just as much as you are connected to the one thing, you are also very much the individual thing. You are the individual experience. You are the individual soul incarnate. You are the aspect of this individual, of Julie, of Tracy, of Judy. You are experiencing individualism through this practice, but you do it through many, many different levels of it as well. Many different incarnations going on as your soul moves into its own separate entity to experience, and then your soul experiences many different aspects of you experiencing at the same time. And then you are also a carrier of many cells that have consciousness of their own, many things that are going on within you. You are your own universe walking among this earth, providing a space for all experiences to happen within your own cellular body. And so again, the levels of this are too complex and too much for the vehicle we speak through. And most likely for many that are listening, this idea and concept cannot even be touched on the surface of who you truly are. And so just remember, you are greatness, you are light, you are expansive, you are multidimensional, and you are having many, many experiences right now. And so as this consciousness comes in to this form that you are experiencing now, you also know that you can break into a meditation or something of maybe you're just going into your imagination and having other experiences, other dimensional experiences as well. So much can be happening within each individual in this very, as Dolores Cannon says, the very convoluted universe that you are created from. So that is not an easy one to answer, but again, the simple answer is yes. Yes, you are. You are part of source. All right.
Thank you.
Did you want to add anything to that, Judy?
Yes. What is imagination?
What is imagination? We thought you were going to add an answer, not a question. So is this another question that you asked, or is this another question on the sheet?
No, it's not a question on the sheet, but you gave me the opportunities.
What is imagination? Imagination is a portal into many experiences. If you think about it, when someone writes a book and they're telling a story and they're using their imagination, or you sit down and you tell your child a bedtime story, or you're just getting into some creative writing and you're wandering off in your mind to this place and that place. These are all portals into other realities, memories, if you will, different things of that nature. There's many different ways to go about being in the imagination. You can go into an intentional meditation. You could be driving a car and just letting your mind wander. Sometimes that imagination takes you to your counsel to have a conversation. Sometimes that imagination takes you into a potential future. Sometimes that imagination will take you into an alternate reality altogether. So your imagination is a portal into all kinds of beautiful, wonderful things. And it can also be a portal into denser energies and fear-based things. So watch what your mind is putting its intentions on. We took imagination into its beautiful grandeur of it, right? But at the same time, there are times where you could imagine bad things are happening or something bad could happen. And we ask you to spend your time thinking about the more positive outcome. If you're going to spend that time wondering and being in the imagination, you might as well spend it on something beautiful, right? Something that is an extraordinary outcome, and create from that.
Beautiful. What a wonderful answer. Okay, moving right along. Uganda asks, what is the meaning of the word enlightenment and how do you pursue it?
But we imagine the meaning of enlightenment is different for everyone. That is like asking, what is the meaning of success? And we could say, Judy, what is your definition of success? And she would give you her definition. Then we could say, Tracy, what's your definition of success? And she would give you an answer. And both of those answers will be completely different because their meaning of success is different. So enlightenment can mean something different for everyone. The general idea of enlightenment is that you're allowing yourself to explore ideas outside of the box, right? You're open to other ideas, other ways of being, and you are not so stuck in one way. You are malleable, maybe, and you're in the flow of change. Tracy often says, what I believe today, I may not believe tomorrow. It might change when I learn something new. And maybe enlightenment is like that, where whatever she's taking in, she gets to put it through her filters, take what feels right to her, use her discernment, use her intuition to decide what works for her, what doesn't, what feels right, what doesn't. And then she gets to move to the next phase of her belief systems and what it is that she wants to pursue for herself as far as enlightenment goes. So she may take this course, and another person may find ley lines and pyramids to be their course of enlightenment, right? And so there's so many different ways to take it. She may take hers into space, and someone else may take theirs into inner earth. So it is very much whatever it is you feel enlightenment is to you. Do you have anything to add to that? Not questions, Judy, but maybe more answers.
That's a very broad answer, a wonderful answer, because it's just not one thing, is it? It's what resonates with the person that makes them feel that way. So it can be anything.
Mm-hmm. And it could be any subject. It doesn't even have to be spirituality that brings you enlightenment. You could be experiencing something at work and learn something new, and that could be enlightenment for you.
Yes, I suppose if you take the word enlightenment, it's that light bulb moment, isn't it? As we say. All of a sudden
the light will come on with you, Judy, and there you have them above your head, just demonstrating that enlightenment right there.
Thank you. Okay, the next one is from Sarah, who a couple of times doing her daily meditation, she saw a few things appear. Once was a white light worm-like being, and the other was a dark cloudy fog, and she doubts whether it was real, whether her mind was playing tricks on her, or whether she saw something, and wants to know if she did see something, what was the message or purpose.
We love how everyone likes to doubt themselves. This is always so fun. Or if it's real, and we go back to, is this real right now, this moment? Is it real? Is anything real? And we say to you, yes, it's all real, because it was in your experience. You experienced it, so you made it real in the experience. And you may have seen something that nobody else is going to see, because your higher self brought that in for you to see it. Your journey brought that in for you to see it. A white worm-like being and what was it, a gray cloud? Is that what the other thing
was?
Dark
cloudy fog.
And we would want to say, and what did that mean to you? How do you want to translate that? They're using possibly metaphorical things to bring to your attention while you're meditating. And what we would look at is this white worm-like being. Is this an alien ET? What did you feel? Did you feel like this was something that was out of your world? Or was this something saying, be more sensitive to the earth, be like the worm and be sensitive to the earth? This is where you live. Take care of it, take care of it. The cloud could have represented many different things as well. It could represent fear. It could represent not being able to see something clearly. It could represent, I don't know, energy in some form, or it could just represent there's a storm coming, whatever it is. In the moment that you were meditating, it would be good to write these things down, and then write down what we would encourage you to do is have that book ready So when these things show up, you write it down, write down your two symbols, then go down and say, okay, what did this symbol mean? And then write out as much information as you could about what you think that symbol means, or what you think spirit wants to tell you that symbol means. Again, using that imagination. What do you think spirit's telling you? What do you imagine spirit wants that white worm-like being to mean for you? And what do you imagine that spirit wants you to think of that cloud? And so you're writing it out, because really you're the only one that holds that answer. I know you would like us to be that magic wand that says, oh yes, the worm was a being from this planet far, far away, and it came to give you this message, but it's not like that. We feel like you were getting these messages, you were getting these symbols so that you could explore them and find out what they mean for you. When you're getting connections like that, it's important for you to work those out and not to give it away, because here's the truth of it. We could sit here and tell you an answer. We could tell you this is what we believe the worm is, and you could be sitting over there going, nope, nope, I don't think so. I don't think that's what the worm is. I feel like it's this. So go with that. And it doesn't matter if you're right or wrong, because guess what? You're always right. You're always right, because that is your reality and you are creating it, and everything in your reality is true. And everything in Judy's reality is true. And everything in Tracy's reality is true. And so stop trying to make everything right or wrong, or can I trust it? Can I not trust it? Did you like it? Let's change the rules, right? Let's change the rules a little bit. You're meditating, you're praying, you're doing your spiritual practices. I don't know if I saw that or not. I don't know if I can trust that or not. What if we change the rules? Did you feel good when you had that thought, when you had that picture? How did you feel about it? What intrigued you about it? And just start exploring it, like your little detectives trying to figure out, well, what was that there for? Why did I have that feeling? Where did that come from? Trust your gut and get out of the way of, is it right or wrong? Did it really happen or not? And you can't prove it anyway. And so just get out of this idea of trying to justify if it was real or not real, and go with, how did you feel? What came to you when you saw it? What were your thoughts in those moments? And then just write them down, and then you can decide later if you feel like you really captured something from that moment or not. And get out of this idea that there's got to be rules around it. You can make it your own thing. What do you want to take from that? And allow yourself the gift to let go of all the boxes, right? All the boxes that you're sitting in, trying to make it right or wrong, good or bad, true or false, doesn't matter. Get out of your head about it. Get into your heart about it. What was it meaning to you in the moment? Okay. Did we lecture enough on that one?
Well, no, it's really good, because it's very releasing, very freeing, that things have to be in a box.
Mm-hmm.
They can be whatever they are. That was wonderful. Okay. So Kathy has a real sense that she's going to be relocating soon, and wonders if you can tell her anything about that.
Kathy thinks she's going to be relocated soon.
Yes.
Mm-hmm. Well, her energy feels like it's already there. We feel like her body is over here and her energy is over here. So Kathy can create whatever Kathy wants to create around this, but yes, if she were to follow her energy, she will relocate, and it can be as soon as she wants it to be. There's nothing holding her back at this point. Yes, we feel like that would be, you were just saying how freeing it is, right? This would be freeing for her to allow herself to do this. Whatever it is, Kathy, that you keep holding on to, that you change is scary in its own ways, especially when you're moving or relocating yourself. That can be a big step, and it can, for a lot of people, that can feel very intense, especially if you are somebody that likes to grow roots where you're at, right? And so but we do see that this move would be a good move. It would be a very positive move, and it doesn't have to be a permanent move. So just think about that too. If you decide when you're there, nope, this isn't really what I was hoping it would be, guess what? You have an opportunity to change it. And we want to go back to that first part of the conversation where you get to take the energy that's going on and shape it. What do you want it to look like? What do you want that outcome to be? And what kind of freedoms do you want in this? So use your gifts and abilities to catch up to that energy body that already left you behind, right? It's already bouncing over there constantly. So the new location, let it happen, be in the flow of it. It will all work beautifully.
Lovely. Now the next question's a little different. It's from Marion, who writes that English is not her first language, but recently she's been guided to write to friends that speak her own language in English, and the emphasis on using English is becoming stronger and stronger. And so she asks, why is it that she's so drawn to be speaking and writing English so much?
Beautifully. We wanted to say so badly, it's not our first language either. Here we are speaking it to you and through the body of Tracy, right? So what we see with this is not that one vibration takes over another. Like one is like if you are speaking French, or if you are speaking Spanish, or you are speaking English, there's not one that holds a higher vibration than the other. But what is happening is the like-mindedness, the unity, the collective consciousness. When we reach that fifth dimensional frequency as a collective, there will be only one language, right? And there will be only one frequency of that language. And we feel like you're playing with that. You're playing with this energy. We're not saying that it's going to end up being English, but what we are saying is that you are working with a language that is dominantly known throughout your globe, throughout your world. It is the one language that is known most overall, right? And so English is spoken almost everywhere at this point. And so that is the one that is you're being pulled to integrate this practice of like-mindedness, of one language, a universal language, if you will. And so we feel like this is such a fun and giddy thing to do, and how fun for you to play in that energy of it and to follow your guidance, to write your friends in this way, to practice in this vibration of a language that is holding we don't want to say a bigger vibration, a more universal vibration, maybe. Would that be a good way to say it? Known more universally around the world. And so it is maybe the loudest vibration at this time, if you want to put it in those kind of terms. And anyways, what we're seeing is you are integrating yourself into a fifth dimensional form of communication through a third dimensional reality. How about that for an answer?
Good answer. Really good. Okay, good food for thought there. Edward writes, what is the path to mastery and how do we become the Christ incarnate now?
The path to mastery. Well, one thing you will probably agree with is that mastery is never achieved, right? We're always moving to the next thing and the next thing and the next thing. There's always another level to learn, another level to learn. But to bring in the Christ-like energy, that is something that is achievable in your reality as you bring in the release of judgment, as you bring in the release of attachments. You bring in that desire to be the best version of yourself in the most compassionate and loving ways, and do your best to release yourself of judgment on self and on others, and release yourself to the attachment of outcomes and expectations. And that would be a beautiful way to bring in some very beautiful Christ-like energy. And as difficult as that might sound, or as easy as that might sound, right? And so when you're out in the world and there are things happening all around you, or family members doing certain things and this and that going on, you might feel challenged in some of those areas. And we say, good. It gives you the opportunity to practice. And so get out there and practice releasing all of these things and being the observer and holding compassion for the experiences that are had. And it is a game changer. It is It is a whole new way to live your life in this reality. And we think you will like it. So we invite everyone to go play in that energy of that. But mastery is an interesting word. We often think of different beings who have walked this earth as masters of their own right, like Jesus or any of the master realm beings. We have so many of them. And Tracy always wants to go to Ganesh and to all the different beautiful energies who have been incarnated in the earth. And we call them masters because they have walked this earth and worked at raising the consciousness of this planet in such a way. You can find mastery in that way. You could do that and be achieving that in this lifetime. But know that there is always the next thing and the next thing. You live in, or you're in this beautiful soul that is the consciousness of multiple dimensions, multiple realities, multiples of multiples, right? And so it is never ending. So the learning will never end. And that is a beautiful thing. You don't want it to, because then what? You'll be bored. How else are you going to keep yourself entertained if there's nothing to learn? So we welcome you to master walking this earth and bringing in your love in the purest form that you can find to bring it in. And that would be a beautiful thing for everyone to experience as individuals practicing it, or as individuals receiving that energy from you. So we thank you for the question and for the interest in being such a magnificent version of self.
Beautiful. Kimberly asks, what is the energy for the next few months that we should be aware of?
Well, we want to say that if you like change, you're going to love the next few months. There's going to be, let us just sit with this for a moment, because we want to kind of bring it in towards the collective that is actually listening versus globally, right? Because it's going to be different. You have global energy that will be happening. You will see things happening throughout this planet to, again, things need to come to light, things need to come to the surface, things need to crumble, things need to be rebuilt. And you're going to see that. But for this collective that is here, we say again that you have so much more awareness of the part you play in the reality you are experiencing. And so when we talk about these energies, again, there is change in the air, and a lot of creation is happening, a lot of momentum to create from your thoughts, from your desires. So again, if you are focusing on the right things and you are keeping yourself in the timeline of that high desire, you're going to achieve it. You're going to make changes in a very positive way. You're going to create the income you want, create the health you want, create the jobs, the love life, all the things. You can create them all within the next few months and bring it forward. What energy are you putting into it? Tracy talked of her pizza delivery, right? She created this energy where somebody actually manifested at her front door. And you know, here's this old friend that she hadn't seen for years manifesting. There is so much manifesting and creating going on. What you think about, you are going to start creating it. And how exciting is that to start seeing the demonstration of it right before your eyes? And so we say to you, what do you want the energy to be for the next couple of months? Because you're going to be a co-creator in it. You are going to see others that are experiencing change that maybe they feel resistant to. We have said it in previous videos, just within the last couple of weeks. The more you can go with the flow of change, the easier the next couple of months will be. So if you can please just breathe in, breathe out, even when it's chaos or world got flipped upside down, you have to understand that your higher self was part of the creation of this change. And so if you can trust that your higher self knows what it's doing, then you can relax in the fact, in the knowing do what you feel like you need to do by tuning into the guidance. What should I do next to keep us on the path of the highest good? What should I do next to keep us in this path? And keep asking that question, keep following that guidance, and you're going to find yourself in a blissful place at the end of that ride. We do think that within the next, that this is going to be happening for 5 to 6 more months. You still got a little ways to go in that, and then you're going to see, you're almost going to see like this curl, this 360 or 180 is what we want to say, a 180 from that. You know, you'll be going through all of the things where things will be dust in the air, right? And then about 6 months from now, that dust will settle and you'll finally get to start really forming, what does this look like now? What is my new normal? Where is this taking me? Or what is the next steps for the future? If you get in a new relationship, maybe you'll decide that this is your forever person and you'll make some plans moving forward. There's beautiful changes in the air, or there can be very chaotic and painful changes in the air. So you get to decide how you're going to respond to what's happening in your life. And then that's going to tell you how that's going to feel. And we think that that probably covers it because we feel like we've talked a lot about that already.
Okay, thank you. Julie's has been told that she's a natural channel, but has turned it off in this life. What can she do to start it up again so that she can channel?
She already does. She just needs to be aware of it, and she needs to set more conscious attention on it. So when she's talking to friends and family, and somebody comes with her and they're expressing their problems, their stresses and worries to her, she goes into a state of channel and she's bringing them their answers. She does more of this channeling when it is someone else that is interacting with her than when she is trying to do something for herself. And that is very common. When one tries to channel their own information, it's near impossible, isn't it, Judy? And Tracy can agree too. She says, I can never channel for myself, but if somebody else is asking me, it comes right in. And you need to all be mindful of that as you are bringing in your own connections in this way, and you are connecting to those other aspects of self and bringing in these informations from these other worldly places, that it is easier for you to do that when somebody is asking you questions than when you are trying to find your own answers, because you are attached to it, your answers. You have a preconceived idea of what you would like that outcome to be. And because of that, you will doubt your answers because you are influencing your answers. And so it is easier for you to bring that in through other means. And it's not to say you won't get your answers. It's to say you might not trust your answers because you're already getting your answers before you ask the question. So then you get the same answer and you're like, well, that's just because I was thinking that the other day. No, it's because you were given that the other day. So we say to you, all of you, when you are practicing with the channeling, have somebody else asking you the questions and let that answer flow through you. And when you are in that energy of that, you're going to find, we think you'll find that that is a much easier way to go about bringing in your channel and start trusting and trusting and trusting, right? She has no idea she's already been channeling. Start paying attention. You're going, because here's the thing. We're like, here's the thing, you guys, here's the thing. You're getting the finger now, right? Here's the thing. I'm shaking that thing. Okay, so you all have to understand that the veil keeps getting thinner and thinner and thinner and thinner. And the more you watch these videos, the more you read your books, the more you watch other videos, the more information you're putting in those minds, the thinner and thinner and thinner that veil gets. So here's what happens. You go to channel or bring in this information and it feels like it's you. Well, guess what? A lot of times it's going to feel like it's you because there's no veil, and it is you. It is you. It's your higher self. It is another aspect of you coming in, like we are an aspect of Tracy coming in from Arcturus. It could be, it feels very natural for her now. She, in the beginning, she felt a little bit different when we would come in, and now it's just like it's part of her. And that's what's happening. You're integrating with these channels. You're integrating with these aspects of self. If you've been listening to our videos, we know for a fact you've been integrating with these. with these other aspects, because we have been inviting that in for how many years now? 4 or 5 years now. We've been inviting in that integration. And so now it feels like it is not separate from you. So what you need to do now is more so, am I channeling or not channeling? We're going to say, yes, you're all channeling. Now you need to decide, did that answer feel good or not good? And then that'll tell you if it came from your channel or from your ego. And so maybe that is more the question. Did that answer feel good or not good? If it didn't feel good, what is the answer I wanted it to be? Why did I want it to be that answer? And then go explore that. And maybe you'll create that outcome, right? Because it is all very much the same thing. You're working with that energy. You are molding the energy to be the thing that you want it to be. I want to be a channel. Great. Invite that to come in. Start practicing with friends. Allow them to ask you questions and bring in those answers. And at first it might feel a little rocky because you are trying to get your bearings about you. You are trying to feel confident in this, and it's new. But guess what? Then it's not so new, and then it's not new at all. And then it's like just another part of you, right? And so let that evolve within you. It is a beautiful thing to have these connections, to be connected to all these other aspects of self and to integrate them. And it doesn't take away from who you are at all. It only adds and enhances. And so we encourage all of you to be in that high vibration, to set those connections up for yourself in the highest good, and make sure you're connecting to those higher vibrations. If it doesn't feel good, it's probably not coming from your high self, right? Because that comes from a place of fear when it doesn't feel good. So you're going to bless it, love it, let it go, the not so good feelings, and then you're going to go again and bring in the high vibrations. So we yammered on a lot about that one. Do you think we answered the question?
Beautifully. That was such a wonderful answer.
And do know, Judy, anytime you have anything to add to this, please do. We know that we are not the only source of information in this video, yes?
I think, you know, that answer, I think would have helped so many people to realize that about themselves. It was just beautiful. Really well explained.
And when we gave them the finger, yeah?
Yep, exactly. They sat up and took notice.
Listen up, peoples. You beautiful souls. Let's listen up.
You know, I just have to say, when the finger came out and started waving, shortly after that, the light in my room started pulsing. So therefore, there was a lot of energy in there.
There's a lot of energy in this finger. That's right. We want you all to know you don't have to wait. You're not, what are you waiting for? You don't have to wait to be in this beautiful energy now. And where there is fear, you do want to dissipate that fear, because you do not want to attract that to you. Bring in your gatekeepers, bring them in, let them help you hold and sustain the higher frequencies so you can be in this beautiful energy of channel. Yes. Okay.
Excellent. Okay, the next question is from Earth River and would like to know what the blue light means. Earth River has experienced this blue light on a couple of occasions, knows that it's good, but just doesn't know what it is or why it's there.
We're looking. Sometimes they're fairies. We want to make sure that we're not. Oddly enough, we had a session earlier today involving blue light. So what we're doing over here is trying to move that out of the energy because it's influencing. And so we want to be very clear about this energy.
There were two exact circumstances, if that would help. And one of those was attending the daughter's church service, and Earth River was the only one to see it. And the second time, Earth River was giving a reading to another medium, and the glowing light was the same as in the church, but it was coming from behind the person and grew to a large circle.
We feel like those are two different energies as we're listening to the circumstances there. And in both cases, it feels like loved ones that are coming in and making themselves known to the parties that are involved. And again, those veils, right? Those veils are getting so thin. Now you're able to actually see the other realm in its color. And most things will come through as a frequency of color, right? Frequency, color is everything. Color is frequency, it's sound, it's all the things. And so this beautiful blue energy is a reflection of the energy of, sorry, what is the name of the one asking the question?
Earth River.
Earth River. So Earth River, your energy, you are a keeper of the blue ray. And so that gives us chills. And so when you pull in information, when you're pulling in mediumship and loved ones, or giving readings of that nature, or loved ones are present for whatever ceremony is taking place and all the things, it is reflected back to you in that blue light. You are the one that's seeing it because you are the one that is beyond that veil, and you can see these energies as they are created around you. There's more to come, more to come. There is, we're trying to understand what they're showing us. Give us just a moment here. It feels like you will see more shades of blue, which means that you are enlarging the spectrum of light. And then you'll be able to see, we're hearing it like windows into the other realities, windows into other dimensions within your own earth. You'll be able to see things that other people don't see, but you may have already done this and not realize that you're seeing something only you're seeing. In other words, if you're seeing another dimension and there's a person standing there, you may not realize that they're not standing in your world, or dimension, they're standing in another, especially if they look a lot like your dimension, right? But if you get to the fairy realm, you're going to notice the difference. So just be aware of the things that you see out of the corners of your eyes. And that's kind of for everybody, right? That's how they get us. They get us with the corner of the eye, and then you look and then it's gone. But trust those things, right? You're sensing it, you're feeling it, you're looking, you're catching something. And it's just practice it, practice it, practice it. It's being in the awareness of it. It's being in the recognition of it. Don't poo-poo it, don't dismiss it, because then it takes longer for it to get there again. The more you recognize it, the more that you are aware of it, then the more often it's going to happen, because your mind is now accepting it as a reality. You are retraining the brain, right? And so as you see it, let the brain know that was real. Then next time, that was real. And then you get to see a little bit more of it. That was real. And just keep doing that, so that your brain can acknowledge that what you were seeing is real and not made up. Because when you poo-poo it, then the brain puts it in the back again, right? Oh, back of the line. You didn't get seen today. Go to the back of the line. So make sure that you are acknowledging those little strange occurrences that are happening. Like when you see an object or a building that wasn't there before, or somebody is telling a story that you were a part of, and you're like, I don't remember that. And then you're like, oh, I must have just forgot, or something like that. Those are little clues for you that you are jumping into the other timelines, that you are moving from other dimensions to new ones and having different experiences. You are catching up to your experience by somebody else's review of it, where you're thinking, I don't remember that, because you weren't in that timeline when those events were happening. So keep all that in mind. The more you recognize it, the more it becomes in your reality, if that's what you want. If you would like for that to start happening, you're going to start seeing things, feeling things, experiencing things, remembering things, because you're no longer going to dismiss it. Okay.
Excellent. Okay, the next question is from Lana, who has a neurological illness and wants to know how to activate the light, macabre, 5D body. And she's basically asking on behalf of many that she knows that has neurological problems.
Interesting. It is an interesting thing when we get asked questions like, how do I create this light body? How do I create this fifth dimension? Because for each of you, it is an individual journey. And that would require us understanding what you chose for your journey to bring you into this world. What were you trying to heal globally? What were you trying to heal ancestrally? What were you trying to heal for possibly your own pathways in this world? And so as we look at this question, we say, you're doing the right things, you're moving in the right directions, you are working with understanding why you have the, what was it, the neurological,
Yeah. It wasn't specific, just neurological illness.
The neurological illness. What is the purpose of that? What does it create in your world? How does it make your world different than before? How does it make it different than everyone else? Why would that be something that you could learn and grow from? Where did that come from? What are you healing with that? Ask a lot of questions and know that you can find those answers. Those answers are in you. They came with you and your counsels and your light. And we see there that there are things that have been shown to you that you're missing, and we feel like you could find your way to those things when you pause. And you ever notice this, Judy, that when you're trying to do something, it's like you were just in it, and you're running, trying to find it, and all the time it's right here, right? It's all right here. You're so focused on this one thing that you forgot to look at the bigger picture. And that's what we feel like is happening here. There's a bigger picture that's happening. There are clues all around you, and you're missing the clues because you're hyper-focused on one thing. Make it one big thing. What are you experiencing in all parts of life? What's home life like? What is it like with friends? What is it like with work environments? And what else is it that you experience? Expand it out. Where are you affected by this? It's not just one thing. It's all the things. And so as you start broadening that out and you let go of your agenda, that's an interesting thing to say to you. Let go of your agenda of what it is you're trying to do here and be more in love with this moment. Because right now you're in rejection of yourself. And as long as you are in rejection of self, you will not be able to make it to the fifth dimension. So maybe you came in with these issues so that you could learn to love yourself through them. And in loving yourself through them, that is what's going to resolve them to move you into the next phase. So where are you rejecting yourself? Where are you so wanting out of what's going on right now to be in that fifth dimension? You got to start looking at your journey. What is it that you're missing here? Be in this moment. This moment loves you. This moment wants to be here with you and have your attention. Be in this moment. And that goes for everybody, of course. Be in this moment. Quit looking so far ahead that you've missed what you're going through right now, or that you're trying to leapfrog over whatever this lesson is to get to the good stuff. Be in this moment. Maybe that is the only thing you need to do, and that's going to bring you right into that very space you wanted to be in. It's not in front of you. It's right here. It's right here. So quit looking ahead. Be in this. You found what you're looking for. Okay. That's what we.
Okay. Keith writes that there seem to be many recently who are having skin problems, and some say it's due to solar flares. Is there anything that you can say about this?
Well, we're going to go back to what we always say. You get what you believe. And the skin problems, that's interesting. We want you to believe a different thought, right? We want you to create a different reality. That's been the theme. Create a different reality or create your own reality. Solar flares they can be intense in your planet, the energy they create. And it's almost like being in a pressure cooker sometimes, right? When those go off. And Tracy's like, all I want to do is sleep when those things are, when the solar flares are flaring up, right? And so we say to you that, yes, there could be some truth to the solar flare. There's some atmosphere changes that are happening, not bad, just happening. And that could be affecting the skin as well. But you have the ability to heal it. And so that's where we want to put it back in your hands, give you back your power with that. You have the power to heal it. Your body is acclimating perfectly to the shifts of this planet and all that goes on in this planet. Everyone say it. My body is acclimating perfectly to all the changes of this planet. And I'm healthy and I'm strong and I'm wise and just super clever, right? To be super clever, super psychic, all the things you want to be. You create it, and know that you can create the changes and the healing with the skin and with the reaction to the atmosphere. And there's somebody out there that's also dealing with something to do with the lungs. And this applies to you as well. If you are having lung issues, this applies to you as well. You can correct it. You can take whatever was affecting your lungs and you can clear that out and bring back the healthy lungs and the very strong breathing. And your energy will come back. Your energy will come back. So yes, this is another opportunity to evolve yourself into the self-healing, into the mastery of, that word is going to be a fun word for us, right? Into that mastery of self-healing, into that energy of working with and reformulating the energy that is around you to be acclimating with you. And we told people this about the 5G network that was coming out as well. Yes, that was sending out frequencies, and those who are in resistance of that were feeling symptoms of that. And we said, why not take that frequency and use it to amplify you and actually make you feel better and believe for that outcome. And again, we say this world is going to always be bringing in the next thing and the next thing, and it's always going to create some flux in those vibrations. And so work with it, be in the knowledge that you are evolving. That has been proven throughout all of history, right? That animals evolve with the circumstances that are at play. So evolve with it and become stronger from it. So we ask you to do that. Apply those standards. You're evolving with it, you're acclimating and becoming even stronger now. And how is that for an answer, Judy? Do you have anything to add to that?
No, that was very broad, but very good too. Very good. As always. There's always so much.
It helps to remind everybody you have the power to change it. You have the power. So, yes.
Okay.
So
that leads in perfectly with the next question from Amy Lee, who recently has acquired a great deal of anger, feels a great deal of anger and resentment and hostility towards her higher self and spirit team. She did have a beautiful, spontaneous and sudden spiritual awakening in 2020, but says it didn't quite stick. And so now is stuck in the mind trap of it's so unfair and unjust. So she's looking for some insight into and guidance into why she chose this very difficult path.
We are looking at that as well, and we giggle in the sense that with that resistance comes a wall for us as well, right? When you're looking to tune into somebody else and there's all this energy around not being able to see, not being able to experience, then it makes it harder for us to see as well. So Amy, if you are listening to this with us right now, we just want you to imagine letting those walls down. And you're very connected to the Lyran councils. you were being sheltered from that connection to the higher self because your longing to go home got very strong, and it was getting dangerous. If the more you knew, the more you wanted to go home. And so that was interfering with the reason, your purpose for being here. And so there was some shielding going on. Take this, if it feels right for you, take it. If it does not, please do not. Again, we want to say to everybody, use your discernment and empower yourselves. If these things don't feel right for you, don't take them, okay? But this is what is being shown to us, is that there was a shield and put in place because you come from one of the most loving, beautiful planetary systems. And then you came into a very harsh one. And so your desire to not be here was getting stronger. And so there is a time that you were being sheltered from that connection so that you could get acclimated back into being in this life. In fact, the anger actually helped you to stay anchored into your body, believe it or not. And so that piece played a part for you to be angry at the higher self, to be in that, kept you here a little, as frustrating as it was, and as much as this might sound like hooey, that was part of what was helping you to stay anchored in the human experience. So as you listen to this, know that you can bring yourself into a place of resolve with this, as long as you understand that you are going to see and experience places that feel so much better than the one you're in. But remember, you came here for a beautiful purpose. You came here to bring beautiful things to the planet. Just being you and being your truest self is a beautiful thing. And that is all you have to do. Find your joy, find your happiness in this life, and allow yourself to forgive that part of you that locked it down, and forgive that part of the journey so that you can open it back up, but always knowing that, yes, you're going to feel a little homesick when you feel that energy because it's so beautiful and so loving, but also knowing that you can go into meditation and visit it anytime you want, as long as you are agreeing to stay very present in your human experience. So there's a little compromising going on, right? We'll open up a little bit if you agree to stay. So with all of that, you're going to find your own answers with this. Somewhere in between there might have felt good, or you believed it, you resonated with all of it, or maybe none of it. You get to go on a journey with that. This is meant for you to grow and expand and to understand that there is so much more going on here than just this meditation into connection. You have so much more going on, and it was very important that you stayed very present in this earth realm, because there was a lot of stuff you were bringing to the earth realm at the time. And so now that it feels like you wouldn't be here asking the question if it wasn't time for that to be released of you. So know that you can release that. Call in your counsels and ask them to help you release that block so that you can be more in tune, especially with the beautiful Lyran council that is standing beside you. We also see you surrounded by a lot of very beautiful gold energy just wrapping around you and loving on you. And a lot of, I'm sorry you had to go through that kind of a thing, but we do love you and we're right here with you. And you did a really good job. You have to understand you're doing a really good job, and you are very loved. And that was very hard to go through. And we all appreciate you for everything that you sacrificed to be here, to help this planet and to help the people, and everything that is a result of that. And so hopefully that resonated. We'll let you move to the next question.
I was just going to add something there. If Amy Lee
we didn't ask this time. No, we're just kidding. Go ahead.
If Amy Lee doesn't have a cat, then it may be time.
Very good advice. Yes. Yeah, say that again. Go get the kitty cat. Get a kitty.
Yes, get the cat.
Amy Lee, if you are here listening in the audience, or even at a later time, let us know if you have a kitty cat or more than one. You may feel very connected to the cats. We love that, Judy. That was perfect. Okay, so what was next?
Okay, the next one is, and I apologize if my pronunciation is incorrect, but I think it may be pronounced Maya. Maya used to be able to travel freely out of the body, but in the last 2 years feels locked and gets an itch on the cheek just before that locking procedure. Doesn't know why. Would like to know more about that.
So she would astro travel? Is that what she was doing?
Yes. Yes.
We want to see if it's a different answer than the one we just gave. It seems to be a lot the same, same concepts of you weren't staying in your body enough, distracted by the astro travel maybe.
Okay.
Were you remote viewing? You're remote viewing. It's almost like somebody got put in timeout. We're not sure. There's this little almost adolescence energy about it of maybe there it is a different scenario, but it can be released now. It can be released, but you need to understand, respect the space is what we're hearing. Respect the space. So we're not sure what happened there. Maybe you were not. Maybe you were going into remote viewing somebody's home without permission, or going somewhere looking at something without permission. There's something about permission, and hopefully that'll make sense to you, but you can release, you can get out of the grounding or timeout if you understand to astro travel, being respectful in that nature of what it is you are going to look at or peer in on, making sure you have permission to be in the areas that you are navigating through if they are personal spaces of others. That is what we'll say to that. And it seems very innocent and playful and fun and all, but that is for everybody, to be respectful of each other, you know, as you practice these things and play in these realms. There is still that you wouldn't want somebody peering in on you unexpectedly, so please don't do that to another. And be kind and respectful and loving about how you are navigating through these energies. Okay, so we think that might be the answer there.
Okay. The next one is from Sonia, who works in a predator park, predators, but she says there's a lot of family fights going on there. Now, I'm assuming that's within the animals, and she's right in the middle of it. Should she stay working and healing the animals or go and do something else?
We're not sure if we understand the full question. The question is, should she stay working with the animals?
Yes.
Okay. We're looking. What we are seeing here is reaction. It feels like reactions to energies. We're putting ourselves in the energy of the animals. Why are you being reactive? Why are you being aggressive? It's almost like nails on a chalkboard is a term you use of irritation, like you just can't take it anymore, and that sound is driving us nuts, kind of a thing. What we would recommend is a soft song, a singing. See if that works. There's a vibration that you bring in through the sound of your voice, and if you change that sound to a song, to singing, then you are setting off a frequency that is disrupting the disruption, and hopefully that will be what it is to bring it back to peace. The question, should I continue working with animals? That's what you came to do. You're good at it, but you might need to take a little break from it. And anytime anybody does any kind of work of service of this kind, or any kind, any kind of work, right? Everyone takes a break every once in a while. You can't do one thing all the time, all the time, all the time. So take a little break from it is what we get, because you're going to burn out. We're just getting all kinds of little random hits, right? And they're coming in. And so if you resonate with this idea that you might be going through a little burnout, that also could be part of what the animals are experiencing, is that you need a break. And so they are energetically responding to this energy of, I need a break from this. And so there's something there for you to make a change, making a change, changing the way that you are responding to the animals, changing the frequency that you come in with initially in the first place, maybe singing that song or going into meditation around them. We're having a hard time fully integrating what the scenario is, what the animal connection is, what kind of animals we're looking at. We're not getting a full feel for this, so we just want to put out suggestions there in that energy, and hopefully some of that feels right to you. But we do want to be honest that we're really unsure what we're looking at, as far as, are we talking about working in a zoo? Are we talking about animals in a home? Are we talking about rescue shelters? We're not sure what we're talking about here. So wherever this resonates for you, we want you to check in with yourself and check into your energy and take care of yourself. It's okay. It's okay if you need to take a break, because we're energy, and this might be something that needs to be talked about for people that need to take a break. But you feel like, oh, but if I take a break, then the whole world's going to fall apart, right? And this whole area of life is going to fall apart if I take a break from it. We want to reassure you that when you need a break from that, there is another energy that will come in and fill the void while you take that break. And so just know that it will be taken care of and it'll be okay. Or it could be even that the break that you feel you need to take, when you take that break, it gives an opportunity for everything else to grow and evolve, because you're no longer there holding everything in place. They're going to have to come together and do it themselves, right? And so it's like when a mother takes a weekend with the girlfriends and the whole family's at home going, who's making dinner? Right. And so then they have to figure it out. And then they grow and evolve and they learn something that they didn't know they could do. So there's something being offered here in this scenario, even though we can't quite get the full picture. We do feel like it is all happening for you. And it's time for you to trust what you feel you need to do for you to make this a better situation for yourself, and to trust the guidance that you were getting for yourself, because it is the true guidance. If you feel that you need that break, take that break. Okay.
Okay, so I'm just going to check in to see on Tracy's energy, how she's holding up.
She is starting to fade, and she's starting to get that scratchy throat that she gets towards the end of this. So we would like to ask in return, how many questions are left?
9.
Let's take 3 of them.
Okay. The next one is from Susanna, and would like to know what is happening with the frequency that is making her ears thump. That is very interesting to be in her energy. Our whole mind, our whole head just wants to go back a little bit. And when that happens, that is our sign that there is a collective that's been reaching out to her, that wants her to open up to them. We do want to ask, can we send in a collective? It's going to be your collective, your council. We want them to come in and move some energy off of the backside of the ear. There is just an energy influence of just static, if you will, that is influencing that communication, like blocking it to a degree. Like she knows there's something there, but she's not able to hear it clearly. And so what we want to do is kind of an upgrade, bringing in the upgrade, giving you the new equipment, if you will. It's like when you download your phones with the new upgrade. That's what we want to do for the ear chakras, so that you can fully integrate this energy that wants to come in. It is
It is one of her councils. Interesting. We feel like we go to a water world with this one, so that will be fun. Let the water world people come talk to you. The water world beings. That lit up a few people. Whoever got excited about that, you can invite them in as well. All of these are very, very cool beings. They're not mermaids. We have not seen this one before. Not through the channeling. Huh. They're interesting. They look different than mermaids, but they do live within the water. They do have the same concept of the webbed fingers and hands, but their heads are more elongated and not human-like. They're not human-like. They're more elongated, but then they do have the face. They have a face. Very interesting and very intelligent beings. This will be a fun one for her to explore. We want to hear about that once you open up to this collective. We want to hear about that and how that went for you. They want to show you around, they say. They want to bring you home for a little while in a meditation. Go into a meditation and let them take you to where they live and show you around it. The great remembering, right? The great remembering of where you come from. And so now we'll find out that she's scared to death of water or something, but this is a water world. It is a really, really cool looking energy. So that'll be a fun one. And as long as she said yes to all the clearing of that energy, she should be able to tap into that.
Okay, beautiful. Janice asks, what is a great gift she's been told she has to give the world, and is she on the right path to bestow this gift?
What is the great gift she has to give this world other than herself? You have yourself to give the world, and yes, you're on track to do that. Let's see what else we can find for you in that question, as we know that question goes deeper than that. And you have a gift of vision, clairvoyance, there's something to do with the touch of the right hand. I know you would think we'd want to say both hands, but it feels like you draw the energy from the left hand and you move it through the right hand. So there's gifts of touch, of understanding, of knowingness. You're able to shift outcomes. We've been talking about that all day. You've grown up in a background that has taught you, maybe it's prayer, maybe it's just intention in general, and you're very good with it. You know how to switch outcomes, maybe not so much your own because you're attached to your own, but when you hear someone else tell their story, you know how to switch it for them. You know how to guide them into a better outcome. So you're very good with many things. So allow yourself to be integrated with those aspects of self. There's a connection to castles. We're seeing castles with you, but we're not feeling like they're this world, not this world. They're otherworldly castles and oracles, oracle positions of oracle and wisdom and the crone, if you will, or the wise keepers. And there's a lot of history there for you to pull from. So we would like for you to play with that and bring that to the world and just share your wisdom with people when they are asking. We don't want you to go up to just anyone and start sharing wisdom, but when someone is asking, yes, you bring that in for them. And if you do this as a practice or as an income for yourself, that would be something you would be very good at. So that would be what we would say.
Okay, lovely. Okay, Dina has been struggling financially and wondering what is a deeper cause or meaning to the situation.
Struggling financially?
Yes.
Could you say the name for us again?
Dina.
Mm-hmm. We like how everybody uses there's these names. We're not sure if that is an actual There's a disconnect with the name. So we're trying to get the connection here with it could be that Tracy is also getting tired. So that could be the disconnect. So don't be worried if that is the case. So we're looking at the abundance. There's a lack of abundance. Is that what it is? And we want to turn this around.
Yes.
Recently, something got triggered that brought back an old story. An old story as in past life and an old story as in childhood. Something of desire was not accomplished. Something, a possession that wanted to be acquired did not get acquired. There's something that got triggered there that brought back in this old story of poverty or of lack. I'm not sure if you think that there was a curse put on you, but we just saw black cat, and that is, what is the black cat? And then they're saying a curse. They're not saying a curse has been put on you. It's more like this understanding that it feels like there's a curse on me. Why can't I make the money? Why can't I ever get out of this place? Why am I always living paycheck to paycheck? So with that being said, there is some shift in the energy. You are not an energetic match to the desired income. And so we just want to work with that. We want to ask your permission for your councils to come in and work with you to shift this old wound that you are not worthy, this old wound that you have to work hard, this old wound and memory and the belief system around all of the finances, and integrate the new ones. There's plenty for everyone. There's plenty for me to have as much as I want. There's more than enough. Everything as Tracy says, hey, money, come have a party in my bank account and bring all your friends. Come party in my bank. And so everyone have celebrations and parties in their bank account. Bring in all the friends, right? Bring in all your friends and just get a lighter energy around money. So where you're feeling that lack, you're going to have to come in and find a way to feel something different. So anytime you feel a lack, maybe you could go for a walk or go do something that's going to shift the energy. You have to shift the energy, and maybe just giving yourself permission. And we're going to tell a story about Tracy when she was going through lack, and she was asking for these same kind of guidance. And she's like, every time she would go to the grocery store, maybe she would make sure everybody else got what they needed, but then she never got what she wanted, right? She would always make sure everybody else was taken care of, but then she had this mentality that it was for everybody else. I'm the one that needs to sacrifice. And if that fits for you, that's great. And if not, don't worry about it. It's still gonna fit for the story. So she prayed about that one day, and we said, why don't you give yourself permission to put whatever it is you see that you like in your cart, and you push it around with you while you go through the store, and you give yourself permission to buy that. And if you still want it, by the time you get to the register, you buy it for yourself. And if you get to the register, look at it again and ask, do I really want this? And really what is happening is that almost probably 90% of the time she put it back on the rack, because all she needed was the permission to buy it for herself, to shift it. And then she no longer felt that lack. She felt like, well, I can have it, but now do I really want it? Whereas before she was like, I like that, but I can't have it. I can't have it. And you always want what you can't have, right? You always want that thing you can't have. Another belief system. And so give yourself permission to put it in the cart for a little while. Give yourself permission to look at it. Give yourself permission to consider this. And do I really want it? Or do I want to wait and get something different? Or do I want to wait and do it at a different time? But give yourself the permission. Give yourself permission. She even does this with Amazon. She's in her head laughing right now. She goes, oh, I just did that. I just looked at something on Amazon. And I thought, I kind of like that. I'm going to put it in the cart for a little bit. And then tomorrow, if I still like it, maybe I'll buy it. And so give yourself permission to at least consider it for yourself, because you are putting yourself in this energy that becomes the energetic match to the poverty, to to the punishment, to the not good enough, not worthy, all of the different storylines that go with that lack. And so as you give yourself permission to explore the ideas and say yes to yourself once in a while, you're going to shift the energy. So find a way to say yes to yourself. Find a way to say yes to something. And if a friend offers to take you out to coffee, go to coffee with the friend and don't feel guilty. Receive that. That is abundance. You just look at that as the equation of money earned, that, you know, because you didn't have to pay for the coffee, someone else paid for it for you. So that is the same thing as an income, right? Let it show up in magical ways. Let it come to you in ways unexpected. Quit, get your mind out of it has to show up this way. Has to show up through my paycheck. It has to show up through my refund check. It has to show up through. No, it can come in magical ways. It can come as somebody gifting it to you. It can come as somebody needing help, and in exchange, they give you this thing that you've always wanted. Whatever it might be, let it come in magical ways. And with that, we think that's all we have to say on that part of the subject. Do you want to add anything, Judy?
No, not to that, but there is one other question that I think would be good to, if you've got the energy, if Tracy has the energy to uphold
ask the question. We'll make her, we'll strong arm her into it.
Okay.
Yes.
This is from QHHT in Turkey, where there has been the very large earthquake. And she feels that is the start that has been given for the end of the old dimension and the beginning of the new. Would you have anything to add to that?
A big giant yes. Yes, there is a lot going on energetically in Turkey right now. Turkey is a pressure point, a crystalline or Christ energy pressure point, where for lack of saying it any other way, good prevails. Is that the word we want? Pushes through darkness, light pushes through darkness, however you want to see that. There is a whole ley line structure through Turkey that is being opened wide open right now, and those energies are shifting and moving. So she is correct in her assumption that something is happening on the energetic levels as well as physical levels of the area.
And does she have to work with something with that?
If she feels called to do some work with that, there was definitely some holding of the energy. If she would just, what do we see doing is sitting with that crystalline energy. It doesn't have to be a Christian faith for that, right? And this is crystalline energy. This is the Christ energy. It is a high frequency, white, sparkling, glowy energy. Sitting with that and just envisioning that over Turkey and then spreading it out over the rest of the planet as well would be wonderful. Anyone that wants to do that is welcome to and invited to join in with that. She will be guided as needed if there is more that they want her to do. That's what we're hearing. We got this, is what her counsel is saying. We got this. She's got this. She hears them clearly, and she will know if she needs to do anything. So she just keep listening. You're getting all your information correctly.
Beautiful. Wonderful.
Lovely.
And with that,
yes, we'll bring Tracy back in. She'll be like, okay, guys, it's nap time, right? We thank you so much, everybody, for being here. We thank you, Judy, for always being with us, and just know how much you mean to us and how dear this whole collective is, and it wouldn't be here without you. And so we thank you so much for all the help that you always give so freely with your energy with Tracy. So thank you so much.
thank you for your wonderful words of wisdom.
And we'll bring you back, Tracy, now. Thank you. Okay. Yeah, I was starting to feel, I think you were picking up on how I was feeling. I was like, flatlining, get her back. No.
You're starting to rock backwards and forwards a bit.
Yes, exactly. So I wanted to see, there was a couple of those. I wanted to see if you guys were listening live There's not a lot of comments going on in the chat room, but hopefully you guys will come in as you got your messages and let us know how that resonated for everybody. And let me tell you, there was a lot of energy going on with everyone. You guys, you're magical. And I know that you're going to do some great things with that energy that's coming in, no matter what it's doing in life, because we all know it's like, hey, you didn't expect this. Here you go. You know, it's like, yeah, it's, I know around here it's kind of like, don't look away, or it's going to get you in left field, right? Or it's going to get you when you're not looking. But yeah, there's a lot of energy going on right now. And you guys, it felt like you were doing really good with it. Actually, what was coming in, it just felt really good. So very happy to be part of that. And keep seeing that little light bulb above your head with all this other very nice.
Once again, great questions, great answers.
Yes. You have a level 1 companion for QHHT.
I do.
When's that coming up?
Yes, that is from Saturday the 11th of March to Monday the 13th of March, so end of next week.
Yeah, so if anyone's listening to this and they want to participate in that, I'm putting Judy's link on the write-up on this, and is the information, would they find it there at your website?
They will. Yes,
Okay.
definitely under events and workshops and courses.
Wonderful. Yes. Okay. So go check that out if you're a QHHT practitioner and you would love to have some extra level stuff. I mean, who wouldn't want to learn from Judy? Hello. Hello. And check out the Daniel thing for March 11th. I'm really fading. I'm going to have a hard time spitting it all out.
Yes, March 11th in the States, March
12th.
12th. Yeah.
We're doing it too. We're bouncing off each other's cloudy, foggy brain, guys. Yeah, so come check it out. The links are down below. I also have a workshop coming up in May that is in Truckee River Workshop is what I'm calling it, or Truckee River Retreat, but it's Truckee, California. It's just a few miles out of Lake Tahoe. And I'm doing that with Trina Jans, and she also goes by Jag. So Trina Jag, Leah Ray Light, and myself, we're going to do some of this in a live version. And that's going to be in May. So check that out as well if you're interested in doing something in person, and that's doable for you. You would be flying into Reno and then coming out to see us in Truckee. So other than that, I think that's all my announcements. So we got your class, we got, oh, and then Judy and I are going to be doing another one on the 21st of this month, March.
Yeah.
You guys, we are so fading. Okay, love you all. And yeah, we'll just put it in the write-up down below. That's all you get from me now. All right. Mwah. And the only way I know to do this is to shut it off, Judy. So thank you so much. And I'll
thank you, Tracy.
after. Okay.